Hey everybody, Alex here, and welcome to an all-American pickup video. Ugh. So, well, maybe I'll do this in the main video, but I had some dental work done. Apparently my last dentist didn't do jack shit, so, needless to say, there's a lot of fuck up. And as a result, I think pretty much because I'm still healing as I'm recording this, all my taste has changed. Diet Coke does not taste the same anymore. Meat tastes fine. Sweet things tend to taste sweeter. It's very strange. I really think it's just part of the healing process, but hopefully everything gets resolved. Knock on wood, whatever you can find. But I'm filming this before work today. It's like, I don't know, like June 24th. I just literally was like looking at my YouTube feed and realized I hadn't done shit. I didn't do shit last month, but I really didn't do shit this month. So figured let me just knock this out so I can put some of this stuff away. So no particular order. There's a lot of stuff in here that I ordered a while back that just happened to show up. So start off, we got Saga Frontier Remastered. You can get this off of PlayAsia. Now, Saga Frontier is actually one of my favorite RPGs as a kid. And it's weird because it's like one of those super duper obtuse games because it just doesn't explain itself. That's like what the Saga series is really known for. And as a kid, you know, the idea of an RPG with so many different protagonists, I think it's 7 or 8 that you got to pick, I didn't know where to start. So I went with Red, whose plot line is he's a superhero and it's pretty much a comic book plot. He's just running around doing like the superhero thing, and it's much like Superman, you know. It's like he happens to be in the right place at the right time, or the right place at the wrong time, and has to run off, and hopefully nobody sees him when he changes into his superhero outfit and goes about saving the day. I don't know how, because this game basically stuff just happens and you eventually get to the end of the game. I somehow beat it. Couldn't do it with anybody else. I tried it with Blue, who's like a magician. That didn't work out. There's one girl that's put into jail as a wrongfully accused. There's a Beast Boy one. There's a robot who can't remember anything, and then there's a traveling minstrel who I think his name is Loot. He's considered to be like the most difficult one because you can literally go to the last boss like right at the beginning of the game. The remastered version does have a new character too that apparently this got rushed out the door. Who knew? Clannad side stories. This is pretty much just like a sort of side story that's really focusing on the other characters within the Clannad universe. So now of the Clannad games, I have finished one of 3. So I am now just as behind as I am in the Ratchet and Clank series, and well, not as bad as Atelier, but still pretty bad. The Wanderer, Frankenstein's creature. So this, I'm really not sure what this is. This is from Cozen. These are the guys who have done a few different visual novels. This is sort of like a kind of adventure-ish hipster game. It looks kind of cool. And little known fact, when I was in college, I actually wrote a paper on Frankenstein, although it was really supposed to be a comparison of the book versus Mary Shelley's Frankenstein with Robert De Niro, which I hate that movie. But kind of like a deconstruction. It was more, not so much a deconstruction, more like an analysis of the character itself and what it stood for, not, you know, the monster part of it. So I haven't really been able to find much of this online, but visually it just intrigued me enough because I couldn't really tell what it is that I decided to pick it up. And I had gotten this, all these came together because what I did was when PlayAsia had a free shipping thing, I just stacked a bunch of stuff into a box. And then pretty much like some of this stuff I think came out like 2 months ago. Like Leisure Suit Larry, Wet Dreams Don't Dry Twice. This just came out and is the sequel to Leisure Suit Larry, Wet Dreams Don't Dry. I had played this with my fiance and was totally unfamiliar with Leisure Suit Larry and the infamy behind him. We had a blast playing that game. It was so fucking obtuse though. Like we just sat there with a guide to go through things because it does have some of those adventure games. I don't want to spoil anything because some of them are pretty lewd, but it's pretty funny, but they are just as like, there's no logic. behind any of that. Next from Super Rare Games, we have Inmost. Sorry for the glare. This is a puzzle platformer that I believe was released on iOS and has been on the Switch for some time. Not really super long. I think it's like 2 or 3 hours, but folks who've played it say it's a phenomenal and beautiful game and is well worth the price if you're into that sort of thing. Which I am. You know, I tend to enjoy a good puzzle platformer with a really dark and obtuse storyline, so thought I'd jump in on that. I think it's 15 on the Switch. I'm not sure what it is on iOS though. Wonder Boy Asha in, here we go, in Monster World. This just came out and is getting kind of middling reviews. People who are longtime fans of the series are like, it's okay, I get it, but not really. I'm leaving it sealed for now, just because I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it or not. I probably am, only because it has Monster World 4 on the cart, and I would like to own that physically because it was a huge to-do when the original one got localized on PSN like 1,001 years ago. And, you know, I've seen tons of videos on the whole crazy screwed up timeline. So, and I have not played any of them, so I really have to get into it. I do want to pick up the Alex Kidd remaster, because that looks a lot better than this. I hate to say it, but I believe it's the original story creator or creative director who had made this or assisted with this. And honestly, you know, maybe this is a topic for like a discussion video, but all these old creators that come out of the woodwork, I mean, look at Balan Wonderworld. Listen, lightning in a bottle, man, doesn't strike twice. I mean, as I understand, I think Yuji Naka's like retiring now. I think I'm putting words in his mouth, but it seems like he's pretty much just given up, like his time has passed. You may as well sail off into the sunset on a high note as opposed to a bad one. Well, whatever. Bite the bullet. I don't even remember when the fuck I ordered this. This is from, I think, Mega Cat Studios. No, Graffiti Games, and Strictly Limited. They put this up for pre-order like I don't know how long ago. Pretty much it's a run and gun where the idea is you eat. Sounded really weird. Obviously still sealed. I completely forgot. I knew what it was back when I ordered it. Now I don't. Mass Effect Legendary Edition. So I've actually, this is my second time owning this. I got it from Best Buy day one because it came with a steelbook. And then it was part of the Target buy two get one, and I was actually buying gifts for the fiance. So I thought, hey, let me just do it this way, and I can get Mass Effect 3 for free. So I returned it, and now thus I have it again. And I've finished the trilogy of Mass Effect. Haven't played Andromeda, although I've had it on PC for I don't know how long. I think I got it for like $7. I really didn't mind the ending to Mass Effect 3, and I did a video about it a long time ago, and I was actually kind of pissed off that they changed it based on fan feedback, because that's a betrayal of the author, you know? Like, as an artist, I feel like that's just kind of screwed up. 2 is still the best, but I am excited to go back into these games. I'm really curious to see what they did with 1, because 1... Basically, I went from 1 to 2, like, back to back. I was so in love with the characters at the end of 1. But I haven't played it since, and I haven't revisited it since, and it was clunky when I played it, and admittedly it wasn't as old back then. Alright, so I'm getting this bad boy out of the way. Here is the Toa Plan box set from the shooters that they did. So this contains Truxton, Classic Game Room, RIP, Hellfire, Fireshark, and Zero Wing, which is known for all the memes. It came with a little thank you card, as well as this huge ass pin of I think his name is Katsia. So this set, you know, I was excited when it was announced because I only owned a physical version of Hellfire. Like, officially, I was not going to pay for Truxton, Fireshark, or Zero Wing. I don't even think came out here. So seeing this announced was really exciting to me. Sold my copy of Hellfire, and the irony is it literally paid for this in full, which is kind of nuts if you think about one game literally paid for 4. And, you know, you could argue, you know, Alex, they're reproductions. It's like, no, they're still officially licensed, so I can consider them real. But cool box set, and it got 3 other games in there that I have had via via EverDrive that I've wanted physically, just don't want to shell out the money for. That came with Crossing Souls, and also came with Swords of Ditto. This is kind of like, I guess, it's been around for a while. Kind of like a rogue-like Zelda game, I guess is the best way to put it. And Crossing Souls is yet another one of these hipster adventure visual novel games that I happen to like, as if the cover didn't give it away, that I like so much. I've had that digitally for a while, but I didn't play it. This is kind of embarrassing. Just Dance 2020. This was part of a little gift set I got the fiance. Thank you, E3. Moving along to that. She liked the playlist in 2020 more, by the way. Battle Axe. This finally came out. I did not back this on Kickstarter. I actually I'd opted against it pretty much only because at this point I'd backed so many Kickstarters and everything just got delayed to forever and a day. I was just like, fuck it, I may as well just wait. And then down the line I eventually heard that they were going to have a retail release, and I've gone down that road a few times, so I just waited for that. Limited Run was doing the distribution of the US version, but I was doing a trade with Gareth anyway, so basically I just told him just to grab me this. I've already played and finished this, actually. It's really good. It looks phenomenal. The perspective is kind of like that of like a Zombies Ate My Neighbors, but it's very much arcadey, kind of like an Arcus Odyssey or a Gauntlet. But it's very short. It's literally like 4 levels. So I finished it. It's hard enough where you're not going to just blitz through it, but I think maybe it took me an hour and a half after a couple of retries and just learning patterns. But it's really good. I really recommend it. No online co-op though. Kowloon High School Chronicle, a sort of notorious first-person dungeon crawler from back in the day from Arc System Works. So this was done by P-Cube. It is digitally available on the eShop, but EU is the only one that got a physical release. I think Video Games Plus has this up for order. I think I'd gotten this from Shop 4 Megastore, who I use a bit. Also to that end, I grabbed a copy of, here we go, I don't remember the fucking name of this game, Wings of Darkness. This is sort of a anime style mecha robot flying girl game, third person shooter. It's a budget game. It's been on Steam for a bit. I watched some gameplay and it actually looks pretty fun, as long as you go in not expecting like a super deep complex game. Think of it like Omega Boost. That's kind of like what it's like. And Omega Boost is really good if you haven't played it. It's on the PS1, and unlike every other PS1 game, it's not stupid expensive yet. And trust me, I can't wait to go back to Diet Coke. I love water, but the fact that I have to drink like 5 of these a day, Jesus. Pissing all over the place. And PlayAsia did like a whole shadow drop thing of a... I just realized this is on... fuck it. Did a shadow drop of like a couple of Vita games, literally just like out of nowhere. They did one for Horizon Zero Chase Turbo, which I passed on because I have it on the Switch, so it's kind of like whatever. But they did do physical releases for Takotan and Aqua Kitty. I think is it... sorry, it's Astro Aqua Kitty. Aqua Kitty DX is the original. So these are 2 shooters they put out. They're budget release shooters. Takotan's on the Switch. I think it's always on sale for like $5. And the Aqua Kitty is super fun, and I've heard nothing but good things about Astro. And I actually missed out on these because they literally just didn't announce anything. I'm on the mailing list and just never got anything. I actually saw it on Video Games Plus, so I think it was they had like some sort of promo code or both. You save like a couple of bucks, so I just did that. And they came like the next day. So they must have just had them, or some sort of shadow drop. I'm not entirely sure. You can't really see it because this has my address on it because I had shipped to my house. Let me see if I can pull this off. Yep. Shimigami Tensei 3 Nocturne HD. Or HD remaster, whatever you want to call it. So again, same scenario here. This is like my second time owning it. I bought it day one just to support because I didn't know what it was going to look like, and then it had a price drop immediately, so I just did that again, and here we are, $30 later. Um, I had finished the original Nocturne, well, depending on how you define original, on the PS2. And I've gone on record saying numerous times this is like my least favorite SMT game. And that's because it literally, like, Dark Souls broke me, this game broke me. I'd found out about this because I just come off of Persona 3 and 4, and I want more of the demon fusing. Not realizing that the difficulty curve is very different between a Persona game and a traditional SMT game. And by traditional, normally it's a first-person dungeon crawler. This is more of a third-person dungeon crawler thing, with the same random encounter rate, with the same grind, with the same long-ass dungeons, and with the same no fucking checkpoints. Needless to say, I got to one boss with demons that were purely physical based, and he tetrakarned, if you know the lingo, the fuck out of me. And that was the end of that. And then I had to go back and get new demons, and everything else went back. Of course, every demon I had, he was absorbing. I think if I remember right, he was immune to Zeo, so that didn't help me either. So I had to go back again, do everything all over again. And it was definitely a learning curve for me. It's not easy, and it's not very straightforward at all. There is literally like a whole 2 or 3 different subplots that you can literally just beat the game and never ever see. With the Hell Rider, well, I think it's the 13 Deaths. I forgot the technical name they had. Then there's a whole labyrinth thing, and then Dante's in it. Never ever fought him. No, actually no. I fought him in the one required, but never ever was able to recruit him, even though you were allegedly able to. And then when I finally beat it, the last boss or last dungeon took me like 6 hours. I remember that because when I finished it, there was no save point. So it was like, if I don't finish it tonight, that's it. And I started playing it at like maybe 7 o'clock, and I didn't finish it till 3 in the morning. It was bad. It was bad. When I finally finished, it was like a sigh of relief. And then I called out sick from work. But excited to go back into it. You know, I've played more traditional SMT games since then, and in hindsight, hopefully this isn't as bad. This supposedly has a lot of quality of life improvements, and they added voice acting, which I'm excited for, but I'm wondering how it's going to go over, considering I played the original, and the lack of voice acting kind of just made it very ominous. And the music in this game is actually pretty spooky too, which I like. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, keeping this sealed only because, once again, I anticipate a price drop in the next couple of days or so. Maybe, I don't know. The irony is this came out and I just finished A Crack in Time. Everybody's been saying glowing things about this. I don't really think I need to say much else about it. And then the final game is EDF World Brothers. So this came out digitally over here in the States, no physical release. This is more of a voxel style EDF game. Of course, gotta pick up my EDF games. And I watched Sick Cooper do this, and I've been trying to do it, and I can't figure out how to do it. I was able to do it back in the day, but anyway. I went with this on the PS4 just because I played the demo on the Switch, and can't do it. It's a blurry fucking mess. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I really do find myself, whenever something says PS4 and Switch, I'm kind of taking the approach of what I used to do when we had that PS3 Vita PS4 crossover time. If it was on the PS3 and then it was on the Vita, I could deal with it. If it was on the PS4 and the Vita, I had to look at the genre and figure out if I could deal with it. Something like this, no. No. Something like a 2D shooter, something, even some of those, depending on the engine, just don't seem to run too well on the Switch. But more to come, I guess. So that's it. That's it. Those are all the pickups for this month. Going into July, it's going to be a bloodbath, just because there's a lot of RPGs and stuff coming out. All of them niche, of course, so have to... Oh, actually, no, I lie. I also picked up an Xbox One at Series S. That's in the other room, and I paid the deposit for the wedding, so, cool, yeah. It should be vodka after that. Yeah, it's been a busy month. But why did I get a Series S as opposed to an X? Well, for one, it actually fits on my entertainment center, because at this point, there's just no room for anything. But I'm not really into the whole Xbox collecting. I have a OG Xbox, and I have games on that, and whatever's backwards compatible that I don't feel like I have some sort of emotional attachment to, like Panzer Dragoon Saga Orta, I'm just gonna toss out and just get it digitally. Heaven forbid. No, but seriously, it's a Game Pass machine. That's pretty much what I'm using it for, and it pays for itself. That's really all I'm going to use it for. The handful of exclusives. I have Ultimate, so I have it on the PC if I need the oomph. So that's not a problem whatsoever. But in terms of just like releases where I'm not even entirely sure if I want it physically, hey, Game Pass is great for that. I've done it a few times, or for the sake of keeping something sealed, for collecting purposes, or just to play with friends who happen to have it on that platform. I finished River City Girls. I'll talk about that in the recap vid, but phenomenal game. Worked great on the Xbox Series S. And I got to play it on TV, and even my fiance was like, actually, this game does look kind of fun. And then I was like, you want to play with me? And then she said, oh. All right, but that's really it. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with my Xbox S. I think I'm just going to bring it over to Book Off as opposed to figure out how to ship this goddamn thing. But anyway, I've been Alex, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take it easy.